I'm not here to teach you a new trading strategy. I'm here to change the way you think while you're trading. Because after spending years around professional trading environments and watching countless traders make decisions in real time, I came to one conclusion that completely changed my own approach to the markets. Most traders aren't losing because they lack technical knowledge. They're losing because of the way they think under pressure. For nearly a decade, I watched thousands of traders react to the market. Different personalities, different experience levels, different strategies. Yet despite all those differences, the same patterns kept appearing again and again. People would make money, then give it all back. They would follow their plan for a while, then abandon it after one emotional trade. They would promise themselves that next time would be different, but somehow, the same mistakes kept repeating. When I eventually left the institutional world to trade full-time myself, I discovered something uncomfortable. Trading wasn't nearly as much about charts as I had once believed. Technical analysis mattered. Fundamental analysis mattered. But neither of them could save you from yourself. When you're sitting alone in front of your screen, without the comfort of a regular paycheck, the market becomes your greatest teacher, and at times, your greatest enemy. Some days it rewards you. Other days, it humbles you. I've experienced both. There have been years where trading has been incredibly profitable. There have also been moments where a single emotional decision cost me tens of thousands. One trade doesn't define you, but one emotional reaction can. That's why I believe fear is the biggest obstacle standing between most traders and consistent profitability. Notice I didn't say strategy. I said fear. Many traders know how to find good setups. They just don't know how to behave once real money is on the line. They make money, then lose it, recover, then lose it again. It's a cycle that repeats until they realize the real battle isn't with the market, it's with themselves. The size I trade today means that even a relatively small move against my position can equal what many people earn in an entire year. Does that mean I don't feel fear? Of course I do. Fear is part of being human. I'm not fearless. I worry about my family. I worry about making mistakes. I worry about disappointing people. Trading didn't remove those emotions. What changed was my relationship with them. That's an important distinction. Successful traders aren't people who never experience fear. They're people who no longer allow fear to make their decisions. Over time, I became less emotionally reactive to market movements. Not because I was born differently, but because repeated exposure changed how I responded. When you first start driving a car, every decision feels stressful. Checking mirrors, changing lanes, parking. Everything demands your attention. A few years later, you do those same things almost automatically. Trading can develop in the same way. The situations don't necessarily become easier. You simply become calmer inside them. That doesn't happen through experience alone. And this is where many traders misunderstand improvement. People often say that practice makes perfect. I don't believe that's true. I believe practice makes permanent. If you repeat the wrong behaviors every day, you're not becoming a better trader, you're becoming better at making the same mistakes. If every losing trade leads to revenge trading, if every winning streak leads to overconfidence, if every period of boredom leads to forcing trades, then repetition isn't helping you. It's strengthening habits that work against you. That's why simply spending more hours in front of charts doesn't guarantee improvement. Many traders spend thousands of hours practicing emotional reactions instead of disciplined execution, and then they wonder why nothing changes. You can memorize every indicator available: moving averages, MACD, RSI, stochastics, Bollinger Bands, support and resistance. You can understand them all. Yet when a trade starts moving against you, something interesting happens. You stop following your analysis. You start negotiating with your emotions. You move your stop loss. You convince yourself the market will come back. You hold losers longer than planned. Or you panic and close winning trades far too early. The problem isn't that you suddenly forgot your strategy. The problem is that your emotions became louder than your rules. That's why technical knowledge alone rarely creates consistent traders. Because execution happens under emotional pressure, and pressure exposes the weaknesses that education alone cannot fix. Think about this for a moment. If trading success depended only on technical analysis, then everyone who mastered chart patterns would become consistently profitable. But that's clearly not the case. Most losing traders already understand enough technical analysis to make money. What they haven't learned is how to think when uncertainty enters the picture. And uncertainty is something the market gives you every single day. The moment you accept that trading is primarily a psychological challenge rather than a technical one, you stop searching for the perfect indicator and start working on the one thing that actually controls every decision you make: your mind. That shift changes everything. Because once you realize the market isn't testing your chart reading ability nearly as much as it's testing your emotional stability, your entire approach to trading begins to evolve. The real question is no longer, what's the best strategy? The real question becomes, who am I when the market refuses to do what I expect? That question is where consistent trading truly begins. One of the biggest turning points in my trading career came when I accepted a simple truth. This isn't a technical analysis problem. It's a human problem. Think about it. The vast majority of traders have access to the exact same indicators, the same charts, the same news, the same educational videos, the same books. If technical knowledge alone created profitable traders, then most traders should be making money. But they aren't. That's because markets don't simply test your ability to analyze information. They test your ability to make decisions while emotions are pulling you in every direction. Most traders already know what they should do. The challenge is actually doing it. We see the same thing in other areas of life. Everyone knows exercise is healthy. Everyone knows they should eat better. Everyone knows they should save money. Knowledge isn't the problem. Execution is. Trading works exactly the same way. Another mistake many traders make is asking the wrong question. They constantly ask, "Where do you think the market is going?" It's one of the most common questions in trading, and honestly, I never have a confident answer. Not because I lack experience, but because nobody truly knows. The market doesn't owe us certainty. Every prediction is simply an opinion. If someone is bullish, it's often because they're already long. If someone is bearish, it's often because they're already short. Their opinion is influenced by their position. That's human nature. The market doesn't care about our opinions. It only responds to buying and selling. The sooner you stop trying to predict every move, the sooner you begin to trade with greater freedom. I've often joked that if people ask me where the market is heading next week, my crystal ball must still be in the repair shop. Humor aside, there's an important lesson hidden in that statement. No one has certainty. The best traders simply become comfortable making decisions without it.